allocated almost $5 billion last month for medical care and business. The last time the government tapped reserves was in January 2009 when the financial crisis threatened recession. The government then used funds to help property and ease tax burdens. Iran says the virus outbreak could be part of a biological attack. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is calling on the armed forces there to lead the fight against the disease, saying the military must work closely with the health ministry. The virus has already claimed more than 400 lives in Iran, and Khamenei said there is evidence that raises the possibility of the outbreak being a deliberate biological exercise. The virus has hit the Great White Way as well, with Broadway dimming its lights. New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo is banning public gatherings of more than 500 people in a bid to slow the spread of the infection. The theater district of Broadway is a revenue earner for New York. It generated $1.8 billion last year, but now venues will be closed until at least April 12th. The faltering return to work of China's power plants, oil refineries, and gas importers shows the economy is only slowly getting back on track after the virus. Early signs of a pickup in energy use has raised hopes that China could revive global growth. However, new data warns the road to recovery has barely begun. And Bloomberg Economics reveals China was operating at 80% as of March 6th, but the return is patchy at best. Global news 24 hours a day on air and on Quick Take by Bloomberg, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in more than 120 countries. I'm Karina Mitchell. This is Bloomberg. David.
Karina, thank you so much. It is busy. Every newsroom, I would imagine, across the world is busy on this right now. Here at Bloomberg, have a look at this. Your hot headlines pretty much the last 100 minutes or so, not even 2 hours. And you all know about the market moves. Everything from circuit breakers getting triggered. You're getting more hot headlines, of course, and the high-profile cases also coming out as well. Guys, can we scroll it up? I think we scroll down a little bit. Scroll up a little bit so we can see what happened the last 2 hours or so. Yeah, there we go. No, a little bit higher. There we go. Thank you so much. Justin Trudeau's wife, of course, testing positive.
Yep.
PJ is canceling its championship here, too.
Yep, and yeah, that triggering trade halt that we saw out of Indonesia after it fell some 5%. We're joining the likes of the Philippines, the Kospi today already. Meanwhile, we're talking about central banks, so the world's biggest stepped in to ease liquidity concerns. For more on this, we're joined on the phone by our chief Asia economics correspondent, Enda Curran. So, Enda, let's start with the Fed. It seems like what they did and what they promised didn't really do much for stabilizing these markets, but at least it was a bit of a reprieve, and that was it?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't stabilize the equity markets, Yvonne, but it was a classic money market operation. They're talking about an extra $500 billion now to keep short-term funding markets ticking over pretty smoothly, and there was an immediate impact in the repo market, the overnight repo rates, that which gauges the cost of funding in that market, that they dropped to where the Fed wanted to. And I think there were two takeaways from it. There are those who are saying the New York Fed learned their lessons from the liquidity crunch of late last year when they were criticized as being slow to respond. And another economist said it was equivalent of bringing an aircraft carrier